LA is the sports capital of the world. The Lakers have entered their Luka Doncic era. LeBron doesn't just want a farewell tour, he wants a farewell title. The Rams are going to win the Super Bowl. Go, Kings, go! The Dodgers are the best run franchise in all of professional sports. Shohei Ohtani is the GOAT. Steve Ballmer will do anything to get the Clippers a championship. Mick Cronin has to win a national championship at UCLA. Justin Herbert is a top 5 quarterback in this league. College football is just better when USC is good. This whole city has the Mamba mentality. I love LA.
Live from the heart of Los Angeles, this is the LA Sports Report with your host, Doug McKain.
The other takeaway about Freddie Freeman, which I absolutely loved, was he said he wants to win a World Series again with the Dodgers, but he wants to do it at home.
I do want to win one here in front of our fans, though, so let's try and do that this year instead of on the road. But if we have to win on the road, I think everyone would be okay if
come
we
back here and celebrate. We're getting pretty good at that.
So look, a lot of that is timing, and the Dodgers, you have 9 World Series titles, but only one of those has came at Dodger Stadium. That was in 1963 when they swept the New York Yankees. Duh, Yankees lose. But now you want to win one at home, right? But here's the thing. Just the end is all I care about. It'd be great to win at home. It'd be great to win in front of 50,000 fans at Dodger Stadium. There'd be no doubt about it. That would be a great moment. But any way you can win, you just win. And a lot of times in the World Series, winning on the road means that you had a really good regular season and you started the series at home, which the Dodgers did in 2024, or it means the complete opposite. It means that you didn't have as good of a regular season as the team you're facing in the American League, and you didn't take care of business early on in a series, but you'll take a World Series win any way you can get it, and that's the most important thing. Other big, quick takeaways from Dodgers Fest, probably the biggest one was Shohei Ohtani, and Dave Roberts shut down Shohei Ohtani pitching in the WBC. Shohei Ohtani will not pitch for Team Japan in the WBC. And what made it interesting was an hour prior to Dave Roberts saying that, Shohei Ohtani spoke to us and he left the door a little open on the possibility, but clearly the decision was to have him not pitch. I did ask Shohei about his velocity increase, and it's pretty astonishing when you think about it, is when he first came back of Tommy John surgery originally in 2020, the velocity was down almost 3 miles per hour. It took him 2-3 years just to get his velocity back on his fastball to where he was averaging 96, 97. His second Tommy John, not only did the velocity come back, it's up almost 3 miles per hour, and he's throwing his four-seam fastball more than ever. He told me it was because of experience. I mean, the mechanical benefits too, coming out of the windup, things like that, but one thing I want to ask Shohei Ohtani during spring training is if it's still a goal of his to win a Cy Young. He's collecting the infinity stones of individual awards. 4 MVPs. He's got the unanimous MVPs. I think there's 2 awards that Shohei Ohtani still wants to add to that trophy case. The Cy Young. No Japanese pitchers ever won a Cy Young. And World Series MVP. He's got NLCS MVP, but he's been in 2 World Series, hasn't won the World Series MVP. So I think this next season, it's going to be a Cy Young run if they let him get the innings and the starts. And World Series MVP, look, I mean, a lot of that is by circumstance, and Yamamoto certainly deserved his, but that I think is the big goal. So other thing too, I asked Mookie Betts about his future at the shortstop position, and he told me that he wants to play shortstop for the rest of his career. And that's mind-blowing because it's unprecedented. No one has ever started playing shortstop at the big league level at the age that he started, north of 30 years of age, and not only didn't move off that position, but played it into their late 30s. I was speaking to a Dodgers scout at Dodgers Fest, and I told him what Mookie told me, and they're like, hey, he really believes it. He really thinks he can do it. And the other thing that was interesting about it too was not only is Mookie doing it because he's re-energized by playing shortstop, he's not only doing it because it helps the team on the field, but also helps them in the offseason. Mookie said that part of the reason why he wants to play shortstop is because that opens up that position to not have to require the Dodgers go out and spend $200, $300 million at a premium position. So they can give money to Kyle Tucker. They can give money to Edwin Diaz. They can go out there and bring in a Blake Snell. So a lot of these big free agent signings that you've seen last couple of seasons, you're going to start to be able to link those to Mookie Betts playing shortstop. And what I say for the last couple of months is if the bat is down for Mookie and he's just a slightly above average bat, if he provides value with his defense and his shortstop play for the last 6-7 years of his career, then you're more than getting the value from that. So he's an ultimate team player. We got Bloodhound Lil Jeff. Ohtani taught me how to be a father. Yeah. They asked Shohei his biggest strengths and weaknesses. And he said that he's really good at raising his kid in the air. So, hey, that was a interesting answer. He's good at raising his daughter in the air. And the weakness would be, he said, to ask his wife. So that was smart by Shohei. Always defer to the wife. That keeps her happy. We got Mookie as a ledge from Jose Villanueva. Arcrin D-Mac sounds better. I think he's recovered from his cold. Yes, look, you guys, I look like I'm a cast member of Jersey Shore. I got kind of, I was in the sun. Got my vitamin D. You know, I love the vitamin D. All right. We'll talk more Dodgers today, a little later on Dodgers Dugout Live, full breakdowns. I asked questions to every single player. Got some really interesting responses. And I do want to say one quick thing. When Tanner Scott was talking, Tanner Scott was very open about his struggles. And there was a fan that was yelling at Tanner Scott saying, Tanner, you deserve those boos. Tanner, we don't want you. He heard it. The media heard it. Dodgers fans, do better. Like, there was no place for that. We didn't need that. We need Tanner Scott to be good. And that just doesn't help. Let's at least give him a fresh start in 2026 and see how he handles it. All right. Switching gears to the Lakers. So the Lakers, they lose. The Lakers continue to just be a 500 team. And this is a Lakers team that you just want to get Austin Reeves back, get healthy, go on a run. And the issue with the Lakers was, I mean, they just had a terrible night shooting. I mean, they really, really struggled. You had a Lakers team that just could not find it consistently enough. Luka played well. Rui, 11 points off the bench. Gabe Vincent, 8 points. Made 3 of his 5 shots. But this is a Lakers team that they had a lead early in the first half. And the second half, they just look like they don't have enough firepower. And they just need to just, I guess, tread water during this stretch and try to get healthy and see what happens. But the bottom line is they were atrocious from beyond the arc. They went 12 of 42 from beyond the arc, just 29%. They shot 45% on the night. And the defense was terrible. The rebounding was bad. And this just does not look like a playoff team that's going to go deep into the Western Conference playoffs. I mean, they just don't look like a team right now that is built for that. What they really look like is the post-Shaq Kobe teams that, yeah, Kobe was going to go off and play like an MVP, and there was no doubt that he was one of the best players in the league, but no one really thought that team had a chance. And right now you're seeing that. Luka Doncic is having an MVP season, but he's kind of going to war with butter knives. And they need to probably just eat it this year and then go into the offseason where you have $50 million of cap space, and then you've got Luka Doncic, more familiarity, and then you can put a lob threat around him, and then LeBron James will probably be gone. But look, a lot of the trades they were going to make, DeAndre Hunter got swapped for Keon Ellis. Those were 2 trade targets. You still got Trey Murphy and Herb Jones, guys like that, so they're still available, but those are going to require just a little more assets than the Lakers are willing to give up. So hopefully Austin Reeves the answer, and he did not play again. But here was JJ Redick after the game talking about those defensive adjustments that the Lakers did not make.
I don't necessarily think it was, like a role player thing. I think, we generated good shots. We, they're number 1 in the league in generating corner threes. A lot of that is, Hart and Brunson pushing in transition, and Bridges and Anunoby getting to those corners, and then the half court. They do a great job of, multiple drives into the paint, and they generate corner threes that way. They made 11 of 23. Now, some of those were towards the end of the game when we were firing. Some of those were off offensive rebounds, but they made 11 of them. We were 2 of 14, and I thought we got good looks. The defense in the first half in our zone, we played 23 possessions of it, held them to 19 points. They did enough throughout the game to put ourselves in a position to play to win at the end. But yeah, the shooting, that their shooting killed us, and our shooting didn't help us. Some of it was who they had on the floor, and that's fairly typical. It's against Cleveland. We didn't use it a ton when Merrill and Mitchell were on the floor together, but there are times that we're forced to go to it. The guys have done a great job, and then once we've gone to man out of it, they've been awesome. And I thought that was really good at times tonight. I thought the job we did once we went to man against Brunson for the most part was good all night. What did he end up with? 12 points. He's averaging almost 30 a game. He did a nice job of facilitating and making plays for his teammates, but limiting him to 12 was good.
So we got JJ Redick. Clearly, he knew they were going to win that game. It was really a first half that they were hanging in there. They really should have been better down the stretch. Let's break down the grades like we always do. Let's start with LeBron James, who had an incredible dunk in transition as the head was above the rim. Great, awesome. At this point, I don't care anymore. At this point, I'm like, great, a 41-year-old that spends $1 billion on his body every year can still dunk. Who cares? A dunk is the same amount of points as a layup that rolls around the rim. Awesome. I'm glad that LeBron can still jump, and I'm glad that he's still athletic. It's great. But this is the Los Angeles Lakers. If you're not looking like a championship team, it's a failure. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I'm not going to sit here googly-eyed about LeBron James dunking at 41. Awesome. Great. I'm happy you can dunk. I'd be happier if you won the game. But LeBron had 22 points, 5 rebounds, 6 assists, a steal, a turnover in 35 minutes, 9 for 15 from the field, 2 for 6 from beyond the arc. If it was his last game at MSG, kind of a letdown, let's be honest. He had that really nice dunk. 9 of 15 is good as far as percentage-wise, but the defense is terrible. LeBron is practically the mid from Akron when it comes to his defense, and he's like a cone out there at times. The defense and it's not his fault, too. LeBron James's body needs to be studied. He's the modern marvel. No one has been as good at their job in sports as long as LeBron James has. No one has. And it's not even close. He has been great at his sport longer than Jordan was. There's no doubt about it. Was his peak higher? And the answer is no. And it's impressive. But the truth is, at 41, it's difficult for him to play defense consistently at the modern level. So I give LeBron James a C for yesterday. Jake LaRavia, 5 points, 2 rebounds, 2 assists, a steal, block, 2 turnovers, 3 fouls. There was a time when we were talking about Jake LaRavia possibly being the Lakers' 5th starter. I don't see it anymore. I don't think that's going to be the case. Just not consistent enough as a scorer. LaRavia, I was raving about him, but now I'm starting to wonder if that was kind of a flash in the pan there. I'm going to give him a D for yesterday. DeAndre Ayton goes 13 points, 5 boards, a dime, a steal, 6 for 6 from the field. It was a solid game, not terrible. When he was given opportunities, he did score. You would like to see him rebound the ball more, especially with the Lakers struggling in that department. The Lakers lose the rebounding battle by 10. I give him a C, average Ayton on that one. Marcus Smart, 7 points, 3 dimes, a steal, 2 turnovers. Some really nice plays defensively. I always love to see him dive for loose balls, force a shot clock violation. I think he asked himself to shoot a little too many times. Give him a B. Luka Doncic, 30, 15, and 8. 15 boards. I mean, when Luka has 15 boards, that tells you there's a problem with the front line. But 30 points, 15 boards, 8 assists, just 3 turnovers, 10 for 23 from the field, 5 for 14 from beyond the arc. You want to see the 3-point shooting improve. He was talking smack to Spike Lee. He was grabbing boards. MVP level. Yes, the defense isn't great. Second half, the Knicks were picking on him a little bit, but he didn't get destroyed. He wasn't great, but he didn't get absolutely destroyed. I think his defensive effort was better than most Lakers yesterday. Gabe Vincent, 8 points, a board, a turnover, a foul, 3 for 5. He was okay. Give him a C+. Jackson Hayes, 2 points, 2 boards, 2 blocks in 12 minutes. Give him a C-. Rui Hachimura, 11 points, 3 boards, and assist. 5 for 11 from the field, 1 for 5 from beyond the arc. Missing too many threes for Rui. Not shooting opening threes when he needed to. He just missed a lot of really good looks. And when you're missing too many good looks, that becomes a problem. I think if I'm the Lakers, if I can get anything of value for Rui Hachimura and Dalton Connect and Gabe Vincent, I'm doing it. As long as you're not trading away that first round pick and taking on a lot of salary, I think it makes a ton of sense. Jared Vanderbilt, a point, 2 boards, a steal. Give him a C-, over 4 from the field. I mean, he did draw a foul on Karl Anthony Towns. The defense wasn't great. Offense, pretty much a D. Drew Timme, Maxi Kleber, Dalton Connect, Nick Smith Jr. They only played during the final minute, so there's that. JJ Redick, the Lakers zone was getting carved up. Then they switched. The results weren't better. It's more of a roster construction and a personnel thing for JJ. Still give him a C-. Austin Reeves, Adu Thero, Chris Mannion, Bronny James were inactive in this one. So the Lakers are hoping to get Austin Reeves back. And that's the biggest thing, is they thought maybe they could get him back during this stretch, but you just haven't seen it. He was in the pregame warmups, light work. JJ Redick said before the game about Austin Reeves, I just would say he's day-to-day, game-to-game. We'll hope fully to have him for Tuesday, but he's got to feel 100% confident. So he played just 22 games, is on his way to be an all-star, averaging 27, 5, and 6 on 50.4% shooting. I never thought I would say this, is Austin Reeves is more valuable to the Lakers than LeBron James. And he's been ramping up behind the scenes. They've told him to stay ready, and they need him back. He's their second most important player. They need him in the worst way. The Lakers take on the Nets on Tuesday, and hopefully LeBron James, the Hillbilly Mamba, will be back in the mix because they need him so badly. The Lakers are falling in the standings. If you look at the Western Conference, you got the Thunder, Spurs, Nuggets, Rockets, and Timberwolves ahead of Lakers. Lakers at 29-19, 9 games back in the Western Conference. But part of the big discussion yesterday was about LeBron James and LeBron James making another All-Star team. This never gets old, by the way. And He did make the All-Star team, and he talked about it after the game because there was some controversy whether or not he deserved a spot over someone like a Kawhi Leonard. We'll talk about that next. But here was LeBron James reacting to making the All-Star game again. After this, I got the most mind-blowing stat for you about LeBron James and making his 22nd All-Star game.
Obviously, three-point shooting. We couldn't consistently make shots from the perimeter, and then extra possessions. They got extra possessions. They kicked out for Culver's and knocked him down. I think that was the game right there.
Before the game, we learned that you were named to the All-Star team yet again. It's something that you've talked about many times, but what does it mean to be in this unprecedented year 23 and still be at an All-Star level?
I mean, obviously, super humbling. The coaches voted, right? So, mad respect to the coaches and, them seeing, I'm still playing at this, latter stage of my career, and to be able to be an All-Star, means a lot to, my family, my people that's been following my career, my LeBron faithful, that's been following my journey, and but it's just, I don't know, man. It's always rewarding, just from a humble standpoint, to be able to, be rewarded for your, what you put your work into. So it's pretty cool.
Well, it's basically a year to the day of when the trade happened last season with Dallas. A year later, how do you feel like the championship pursuit for this organization is, having had time to have the pieces settled to some degree and figure out how to work together as a new group?
I can only speak to the group that we have here. We're 29-19 right now. We've had some really good moments. We have some not so good moments. We want to continue to try to build off of that. Me speaking on anything other than that is not it's not my pay grade.
The question was just about this group.
I like this group, but we gotta continue to get better. And that's good. I mean, we should want to get better. It's February 1st, but we want to continue to get better and better. We're going 48 games now. So it's a tough Western Conference. It's a tough league. And it's like I said. I mean, it's been tough. All season as far as, dealing with injuries, guys in and guys out. Unfortunately, our All-Star, two guard has been out for a minute, and that's a big piece of our team. So it's kind of hard to see what we can really, truly be,
So he's right. Look, I mean, just like we talked about, you need Austin Reeves back, your all-star guard. He said he does like this group. You just need to get better. But about LeBron James, the all-star game, let's unpack that first. People are crying about this. People are upset about the fact that LeBron James made the all-star team in a year where, did he deserve to make it over Kawhi Leonard? If you look at the side-by-side, Kawhi Leonard, 34 games, had more points, more total rebounds per game, more steals, more blocks, shot better from beyond the arc, shot better from the line. LeBron had him on field goal percentage. LeBron averaging 21.9 points per game, Kawhi 27.7 points per game. Clippers had a really slow start to the season, turned it up a little bit. Lakers aren't that much better record-wise. But why are we crying about something we knew was already going to happen? And I've seen people out there say this. Well, wait a second. Kobe Bryant, he made it in his last season back in 2015. Why are people so mad that LeBron James made the All-Star game? People were mad about that too. You do realize that, right? When Kobe made it in 2015 at a 22.3 points per game average, 5.7 assists, 5.6 rebounds, 37% shooting, and 29% from beyond the arc. Oh, wait. People did not like it, but they accepted it. They also accepted it when Michael Jordan made the All-Star team his last year with the Wizards. Dirk Nowitzki and Dwayne Wade getting on to the commissioner. So I will say this. With LeBron making it, he better retire now, though. And this has to be the last courtesy All-Star appearance for LeBron. Because the truth is, if we're just looking at players' performances, how they impacted their team in winning games, did LeBron James earn the All-Star spot this season? No. But did he earn that All-Star selection for 23 years of being arguably the greatest player ever? Yes. Here is a mind-blowing stat about LeBron James making the All-Star team. LeBron now has more All-Star selections, 22. The only year he didn't make it was his rookie season, than 99.96% of players that have total seasons in the NBA. Only Vince Carter in 22 seasons has more seasons as LeBron James currently has All-Star games. Think about that. He's got more All-Star selections than 99.96% of players have total seasons in the NBA. There's been about 5,000 total players that have been NBAers so far, and LeBron James has played at an All-Star level for longer than pretty much all of them have played their entire career. That's absolutely insane. So I think the big solution here is easy, and it shocks me. Adam Silver, have LeBron come in as the Legends pick. And maybe LeBron just didn't want that because he didn't want to look like he got a courtesy handout, and that maybe that forces his hand in saying that LeBron's going to retire. And if he gets that, maybe it makes it obvious he's going to retire because LeBron clearly is just being fluid and maybe he wants to play, maybe he doesn't. So that's probably the reason why. But we can't keep giving LeBron this courtesy All-Star nod. Like, I think he should call it a career this year. He's not the same guy. And the truth is, the longer you play after you were great, it starts to kind of seep in a little bit. Like, we don't want to remember you as Shaq Celtics, right? We don't remember that. But BDR, Big Dog Rob, producing as always. What about LeBron making the All-Star team over Kawhi, your boy?
Over Kawhi, man, that's tough, man. You know, LeBron does deserve it, though, to some extent, because even though, you know, he's 41, but he's still really putting it down on the course, so I could see it. It's just the fact that it's over Kawhi. It's always over a Clipper, right? It was over Norman Powell last year. Now it's over
That's a good point.
Kawhi. Kawhi is having a better season, but Kawhi's probably going to have at least a couple more seasons in him, so.
I feel that. I mean, it wasn't like a complete charity case. I mean, 22, 6-6 is nothing to sneeze at. But you got marketing, Sengun. Like, there were guys out there. Look, it's a product. It's an entertainment product. And the game is going to be better if LeBron James is there. But this is why I kind of don't think he's going to retire, just because, I mean, announce it. Because if you don't announce it, they're not going to be able to give you your flowers after the All-Star game. Like, if he's really going to retire, LeBron James should announce it now. He really should. LeBron James should announce his retirement. It'll flip the narrative on him. The Lakers season will have more juice. It'll be about LeBron's final year. He's had a camera crew following him the entire time. They're doing a documentary. Look, if he's going to retire, just retire. All right, switching gears. Let's switch gears to the Lakers trades. So we talked about some of the ones that they were considering. Guys like DeAndre Hunter, guys like Keon Ellis. The question is, will LeBron James try to get his guy Draymond Green to the Lakers if Giannis Antetokounmpo is ultimately dealt? That's pretty wild. We know that Draymond, that's his king, right? We know that Draymond, that's his king, and that he loves LeBron James. And this year, Green's averaging 8.4 points per game, 5.7 rebounds, 5.3 assists, 0.9 steals, 0.7 blocks in 26.7 minutes this season. But he's 35. He's got those warts. We know he's not a good shooter. Picks up technical fouls. He's a headache. Doesn't really fit Luka Doncic as far as the age timeline goes. But this would be the Lakers' chance to get him and improve their defense. High IQ player. They're not going to just give him away. But it'd be pretty interesting with Green, Jonathan Kuminga, could match some salary there. If the Lakers could dump Gabe Vincent, Maxi Kleber, Dalton Connect, it would match Draymond Green's salary. And then you got Milwaukee in the mix with Giannis. So you could be a part of that 3-team deal. So could the Lakers get Draymond Green? Just throwing it out there. Just throwing it out there because LeBron is his king. Speaking of kings, shout out to the Kings for giving me this. Go, Kings, go. Go, Kings, go. All right, switching gears. Let's keep running it, baby. Let's get to the Rams. Davante Adams. Will Davante Adams be with the Rams next season? Davante Adams, he was really good with the Rams this season. He was really pivotal to their success. It was good against the Seahawks. But there is no denying that his 2026 salary cap number could make him a cap casualty. The Rams really need to consider freeing that spot of potential because it could save them $14 million. I mean, think about this. Adams, the most yards he had in a game since week 2, I mean, he had 89 yards in a game. It's not a $28 million receiver right there. His 2026 cap hit is $28 million. And for a team out there, would they really want to trade for Davante Adams' $18 million base salary? So that will tell you that the Rams could just outright release him, but he was signed to win the Super Bowl in 2025. He's only holding the Rams back if the Rams don't find a way to improve that position. If the Rams are able to open up another $14 million by releasing Adams, that would be enough money to get another receiver. So I'm just throwing it out there. The positive for Davante Adams is still catches touchdowns, still is really good in the red zone. He still had 15 receiving touchdowns in the regular season and the playoffs. He led the NFL in regular season touchdowns, and he had a big one against the Seahawks. The good for him, the positives are, look, he can still separate. He still has really good hands. He has good chemistry with Matthew Stafford. He's a good mentor for Puka Nacua. He's really good in the red zone. But the hands aren't good. Let's see a con here. One of the cons are he had 9 drops in 2025. That was an 11.3% drop rate on his targets. That's his highest drop rate since his second season in the NFL in 2015, where it's at 15.6%. He caught just 10 of the 34 contested catches this past season. That's a 29.4% clip. That's the lowest rate of his career. He caught just 71 of 135 targets this season. The reception percentage has gone down. I'm just saying, contested catches are down. The drops are up. And then also not a lot of yak either. He's had seasons where he's had over 500 yards. And with the Rams, he had 161 yards after catch this season. That's the lowest mark of his career. It's the worst production after catches of his entire career. He had 2.3 yak yards per reception. 2020 had 660. 2021 had 650. 2019 had 516. 2022, he had 502. So the yak is down too. I think it's a pretty easy decision. I think that either Davante Adams takes a significant pay cut or the Rams should move on from Davante Adams. I really like the idea of drafting Mekhi Lemon out of USC, but look, there's this good feelings with Davante and he loves being a Ram. I get it. Trying to win a Super Bowl in 2027. They'd save $14 million. The Rams could get up to $75 million. So it's tough to see a world where Davante Adams is back at a $28 million cap hit. Think they got to consider moving on from Tay. All right, switching gears to UCLA. Not going to A-clap here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. UCLA. UCLA. Lose, lose, lose. The Bruins lost again on Saturday. It was a great game, double overtime. Trent Perry, local kid, went to Harvard Westlake, hit a buzzer beater to send the game into overtime. But the Bruins ultimately lost to a quad 2 team, Indiana, at home. And I saw UCLA fans crying about the fact that at the end of the game, it looked like it was off Indiana with just a second left, and they end up giving the ball to Indiana. Indiana scored, UCLA lost, and fans were freaking out. Oh, UCLA got screwed. How do you give the ball to Indiana there? How do you not overturn that? Look, the fact that UCLA is having to scratch and claw versus an Indiana team that's mediocre, that's the problem. You should be winning that game by double digits in regulation. I'm not going to sit here and cry about a bad call late. That's an excuse. Excuses are like farts. They stink. And that was an excuse. And Mick Cronin, he wasn't hearing it after the game either.
Yeah, when we lose, buddy, I'm not like a lot of the people in life. I see no bright spots.
The defense for the first 10 minutes was pretty solid.
Our defense was bad all night.
Points.
They missed shots. That doesn't mean it's good defense.
Guys had been playing better defensively before today.
What you were doing before today in life, Ben, doesn't matter, man. What the hell's that got to do with it? You either, and today doesn't matter. We play Tuesday.
So you hear that? Like, he doesn't care. We don't care. Look, UCLA, they look like they're a team that they could be a NCAA tournament team. They really need to win this stretch of games. You got a lot of tough games coming up. You still have to face Michigan, and that's not going to be easy. But I want to talk about Amari Bailey. So I got a little bit of a scoop here. On Amari Bailey. I talked to some people around UCLA, some of my sources, A1, agents, donors, and they told me that Amari Bailey not only wants to return to college basketball, he wants to return to UCLA. That if he can find a way to win a legal battle with the NCAA, that UCLA would be his first choice. And Amari Bailey, I can also tell you, was in Westwood on Saturday. He was at Pauley Pavilion for the Indiana game. And part of the reason why he was there was to talk to Mick Cronin. So we don't know if the Bruins would welcome back Amari Bailey with open arms or with a plan B, but that could be a possibility. Now let's get you caught up. Do you guys know about this story? It's a very wild story. And it's a major conundrum for college basketball. Is Amari Bailey is trying to get reinstated back to play college basketball. He was a one-and-done player for the Bruins in their 2022-2023 season, but he did play 10 games with the Charlotte Hornets. He played 10 games with the Charlotte Hornets. And yes, it was garbage time. Yes, he did not have a massive impact, but Amari Bailey, if you look at his stats, 10 games in the 2023-2024 season, played 65 minutes, averaged 2.3 points per game, 0.7 assists, 0.9 rebounds, shot 33.3%. He ended up taking 8 3-point attempts. And his claim is, hey, that is not enough time to lose my eligibility. He told ESPN, quote, "Right now, I'd be a senior in college. I'm not trying to be a 27-year-old playing college athletics. No shade to the guys that do. That's their journey. But I went to go play professionally and learned a lot, went through a lot. So, like, why not me?" So while he isn't the first player to rejoin the NCAA after declaring for the NBA, Bailey would be the first to have actually played in the NBA, to which NCAA Senior Vice President of External Affairs Tim Buckley said in a statement on January 3rd that the NCAA will not grant an eligibility waiver to, quote, any players who have signed an NBA contract. ACC Commissioner Tim Pernetti also said, quote, another unnecessary potential obstacle for an aspiring high school athlete, hard no. So there aren't only retractions and reactions for those within the world of college basketball, but a lot of players are doing AI of a lot of players going back to college and things like that. You see the reaction around those, a lot of embarrassing reactions. I mean, Tim Buckley, he tweeted out, the NCAA has not and will not grant eligibility to any players who sign an NBA contract. Congress can strengthen NCAA rules so professional athletes cannot sue their way back to competing against college students. Pat Ford is a college insider. He tweeted, college basketball is not a do-over safety net. If you leave it with the full understanding of the consequences, live with the results of your decisions. You had LeBron James here in an Akron uniform. It's funny because LeBron actually played for Ohio State. And you had a lot of people just clowning him. I'll say it. Shame on any program that recruits Amari Bailey to play for them. Matt Norlander tweeted, a draft deadline has existed for decades to vet and guard against these kinds of regrettable choices. Amari Bailey wasn't forced to leave UCLA after averaging 11.2 points per game. Decisions have consequences. Live with them instead of trying to litigate your way back to the level. And I will say this, and I saw Dan Hurley talk about this as well. Look, the moment you step foot onto an NBA court, you sign a contract, you play a game, it's over. You're not going back to college, okay? You don't want to be that creepy dude who's in college that goes back to high school parties, right? This is the vibe I'm getting. It's giving that. And when Amari Bailey played his one season with UCLA, I'm a little embarrassed to say this, but I was in Amari Bailey's IG Live, and I literally said, if you go back and watch the IG Live, I was like, Amari, do not leave UCLA. It'd be a huge mistake. You're going to regret it for the rest of your life. I will give you every single penny I have in my bank account for your NIL to stay. I really did that. And he didn't listen to me. And as much as I would love to see Amari Bailey back at UCLA, because he'd still be a top 30 player at least, you can't do this. It would open up the floodgates. It would be bad. And Amari Bailey, just stop, okay? You made your bed. You got to lay in it. Your mom dated Drake. Maybe there's a rap career in this somewhere. I don't know what you got to do, but it's not happening, man. Like, it's over. You got to just try to make it in the league at this point. All right, switching gears. USC. Get my fight on music. And Sam Darnold could be the first USC quarterback to win a Super Bowl. He joined 3 other USC Trojans on the Seahawks roster, by the way. You got defensive tackles Brandon Peely. You got Leonard Williams, who's an all-pro. Nwosu, the linebacker. And Darnold was actually asked about this, potentially being the first USC quarterback to win a Super Bowl. And he said, quote, I saw that after the game going around social media and didn't realize that. It's great to be able to represent the university and, hopefully just represent them proudly at the game. That's what he said. And in 8 seasons in the NFL, Sam Darnold has played for 5 teams. He's with the Jets, the Panthers, the 49ers, the Vikings, and now he's with the Seattle Seahawks. And you think of all the great quarterbacks at USC, and you've never had one win a Super Bowl. You've never had one win the game's ultimate prize. And that would be pretty cool. And USC, of course, has great history. And Caleb Williams could win one at some point there. But when you go back and you look at the list of Trojans who got drafted to play quarterback, I mean, there's just so many. There's so many great players throughout the team's illustrious history. Mark Sanchez, he led the Jets to a couple AFC championship games. Rodney Peete, he reached the second round with the Eagles in 1995. Pat Hayden on the Rams in 1979. They made it to the Super Bowl, but he was injured a couple years before. Rob Hurdle, who actually lives in South Pass, Mike Ray, Rob Johnson, Matt Castle, and Matt Leinart were Super Bowl backups. Kyle Wackholtz has a ring, but as the Packers tight end. And of course, a lot of Trojans have won the NFL, but not as a quarterback. Technically, one USC QB has led a Super Bowl victory, though, because Mike Holmgren, who threw a 1968 touchdown as a Trojan, won it all as Green Bay's head coach. But it's pretty cool to see USC break through like this. Sam Darnold, he was the MVP of the Rose Bowl in 2016. He was fantastic. He threw for 453 yards.
That was my era. That's when I was there.
Is that your era, man? You got peak USC Sam Darnold by BDR's a Trojan.
Oh yeah,
he's a Trojan. He loves his USC football. And I know that you're going to be rooting for Sam Darnold. Hey Darnold. So we'll see. I think it could happen. I think there's a good chance it does. I'm not going to give up my prediction on the Super Bowl yet. But Sam Darnold, San Clemente, could be the first USC quarterback to win a Super Bowl. Of course, UCLA, we got one. Our boy Troy Aikman's got 3. All right, guys, so we're going to wrap up the show today talking about some Kobe's. So you guys can see these are the Kobe ones that are replicas of the Kobe's that he wore in 2006 when he scored 81-point games. They released these to the public for the first time. And we're going to give you all the Kobe's that are going to release this season. I think the Kobe 4, 5, and 6, I think those are the best ones as far as playing basketball in. He really changed the game with the low tops, the ankle insurance, and kind of revolutionized it. More players play in Kobe shoes in the NBA today than any other athlete. And it's really not even close. You see the WNBA too. Did you see that? There was a UConn versus USC game. A UConn versus USC game for women's hoops, and every single player on both sides had Kobe's. But here we go. I got my list here. So these already came out January 22nd. The next big one, though, these on January 31st, the Nike Kobe 8 Pro Tro Year of the Horse. This is a nice look. You got the red. You got the orangish yellow, the blue sole. These are fire. On March 23rd, you got the Nike Air Force One pack, the Lower Merion. You got the Lower Merion. There we go. Then we got March 23rd, the Nike Kobe 5 Pro Tro Lower Merion. These to me are right at the top. These were player exclusive-ish ones back in the day. You got the cool Spades logo on the back. This is a must comp if you're a Kobe fan. April 13th, black and gold, the official colors of the LA Sports Report, because this is the City of Champions. You got the Nike Kobe 11 Elite fade to black pack. Those are sick. Then summer 26, you got the Nike Kobe 11 Pro Tro Mamba Day with the cool graffiti on that, the icy sole. These are I love these too. Look at these Nike Kobe 1 Pro Tros in the summertime. The work blue, match that MPLS. And how about these dunks? In the summertime, June, July, the Nike Dunk Low Draft Day, and you got the Kobe logo on the lower right, the Shizuku. These are sick. Charlotte Hornets colors, the team that drafted and traded Kobe Bryant back in 1996. And how about these WNBA-inspired summer ones, the Kobe 9 Elite Low WNBA? And how about these? Another must-cop for me if I'm a Kobe fan and I want to get the Nikes, the Kobe 9 Elite Hornets, another Hornets-inspired colorway. Then I think these are awesome, too. On August 8th, the Nike Kobe 8 Pro Tro Mamba Curio. They look like the soccer cleats. August 23rd, the Nike Kobe 10 Elite Low Halo. How about some Air Force Ones that are inspired by an outfit that he wore? You see those on September 30th. The Nike Air Force One Low Denim. These are sick, too. Fans have wanted these for years. These are another must-cop. The Nike Kobe 6 Pro Tro All-Star 3Ds. Then you also got the dunks. These are the Lower Merion ones. Those are coming out in spring of 26. And how about the Caitlin Clark ones, the Rookie of the Year? These silver and red Kobe 5s. And then Dodgers fans, fall of 2026, the Nike Kobe 5 Protro Dodgers. These are so sick. You got the blue, the red, and then you look at the red seams like a baseball. And then fall of 26, you got the Nike Kobe AD Purple Stardust. Also in fall, the Nike Kobe Protro Year, the horse. So lots of Kobe's. BDR. Oh, look at me. I got him behind me. I love this. BDR. Pick 3.
Man, I mean, I love the Dodgers Proto. You know what I'm saying? I'm also a big Air Force fan, so I got to go with the Low Marion Pack 1s, the Lower Marions. Those are fire. And then the Elite Fade to Blacks. The Kobe 11s are just too clean.
Yeah, that's what I'm taking too. The ones that he had in the 62-point game. I'm going with the Fade to Blacks, the Lower Marions, then the Dodgers probably. I don't know. Those Kobe 6 3Ds and the Mamba Curios are sick too. By the way, the reason it's called Protro, it's this Performance Retro, which is really cool. All right, guys. So a couple comments here. And we got D-Mac going to pull up to the All-Star game in his Vespa, left on base. LOL. Tro, the GOAT, the grandpa of all turnovers, the GOAT. Arcana D-Mac, let's just sign Noel and let him go on the floor. Luca, I like that. Lagon, go away from Jack. LaTanner from Tanner Scott. All right, yeah. We'll talk some more Tanner Scott coming up next. So join us for Dodgers Dugout Live at 12. We're going to break down the entire Dodgers Fest. Lots of sound, lots of stuff to get into. So join us for that. Special thanks to BDR, Big Dog Rob, producing the show. If you're new to the channel, subscribe, hit the notification bell, hit the like button. And my name is Doug McKain. Follow me on X and Instagram at DMAC_LA. And remember that LA is the city of champions.